Day 28, baby, let's go. Sweetheart is a 2019 survival horror film available to stream on Netflix about a young woman stranded on a deserted island after a boating accident, which is already scary as fuck, but then there's this weird fish man, shark man monster that starts showing up and stalking her every night, and this film doesn't bother with any backstory or exposition. This shit cuts right to the chase, and I fuck with that heavy. It starts off fast and then slows down to a snail's pace, but shows you just enough to keep you interested, and it does this repeatedly, so the tense moments feel earned instead of feeling like they were just thrown in for the sake of having a scary thing happen. There's like 5 characters in the whole movie, but Kiersey Clemons plays Jen, our lead, and she does a beautiful job of making this feel like a truly solitary experience. She's resourceful and strong and doesn't spend too much time crying or being scared and shit and helpless, and instead tries to find solutions for her very dire situation. She's tangibly afraid though, and she's not some battle-ready badass right from the start, but this film does pose a lot of questions that it just never seems to answer. And I'm not going to use the term Mary Sue, right? Because that's just something that nerds who hate women say about female characters who aren't good at things based solely on their proximity to men and because they can't get a girlfriend. No. Instead, this movie does a great job of showing us Jen's survival skills, but it never really tells us how or where she learned how to dig a trench, suspend a hammock, sharpen a rock, start a fire from scratch, make bait from scratch, or build a spear for fishing. Like what the fuck, you know? And I have no problem with naturally resourceful characters. Jen here is just way more resourceful than the average person, and while we're left to assume that she's had some sort of survival training or hunting background, it would have been nice to have that explicitly established somehow. Also, Hannah Megan Lawrence and Kiersey Clemons' performances are really great, but Emery Cohen is just laughably bad in this film in comparison, and he doesn't have the same conviction, and I don't believe anything he says, and it sucks that I have to spend more time with him than I wanted to in this film, because next to the other 2 ladies, he's kind of lacking and kind of ruins the scenes a little bit. Sorry, Emery. I will say that this film holds my attention more out of curiosity than any kind of emotional investment. I mean, I guess we're supposed to empathize with these characters, but I'm not Jen, right? Like, I can't build a fucking fire or a shelter or any of that. My stupid ass can't even swim, so I probably would have drowned as soon as the fucking boat crashed. The visual effects aren't consistent, but they're great for the most part, and I love the design of the monster that's stalking our protagonist. I just wish the underwater scenes looked a bit more polished, but that's kind of a nitpick on my behalf, and it's not a deal breaker by any means. There's some logical leaps here, and there are things I would have done differently by the end, but we gotta remember that we are not the characters we watch. We are just watching those characters. And I think a lot of people lose sight of this. At an hour and 22 minutes, it's a rather short affair, but a worthwhile one. It's a very isolated story with a minimalistic script and hardly any dialogue, and there isn't much of a story here. It's very simple, a very linear experience, and I don't discredit those. You know, I think they're necessary, and, you know, they have their place in film, and I like that this one in particular was the way that it was, quite a bit actually. It's ultimately about survival. That's it. And I love seeing black women win, so I'd probably watch this again. So I'm going to give this one 2.5 shark emojis out of 5. My name is Rainey. I will see you guys tomorrow for day 29. We are nearing the fucking end. Remember to catch us on twitch.tv/HearseBoys at 8 p.m. sharp. We're going to do the podcast. We're going to talk about spooky movies, play spooky games. We're going to do it all. We're going to do it all. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you guys tomorrow and on Halloween night. Thank you guys again, and I'll see you guys next time. I said that already. I'm burnt out.